Okay. Uh, Hoping that everyone
Hello.
hear us. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hoping that sound is good. Uh, Hoping that someone already watching us. So once again, hi everyone. We're fixing our problem. So today there will be a talk. So my name is Dmitry. I am today's your host. Today with me, Diego and Yegor. We will be today discussing the functional programming versus object-oriented programming. We will be not going too deep in on it, but we will be taking some of the interesting things overall. Once again, please welcome Diego. Diego, can you tell us a bit more about yourself? Who are you?
Hello, guys.
And
Hello, guys. My name is Diego. I work as a full stack developer with main focus on Python and JavaScript. Um, Throughout my career, I had used both functional programming and object-oriented programming, and I would like to share some of the things I think about the different paradigma and the development of languages.
okay. Hoping that guys sounds is good. Sound is good. So thank you so much, Diego. Then please welcome Diego, also one of our advanced developers in the Agile Engine. Igor, can you tell us a bit more about yourself?
Yep, thank you. Hi guys, my name is Igor. I'm lead software developer at Agile Engine, and currently have been working on Transform project. And for the last 9 years, I have been working mostly in GVM stack and have been using different programming uh, languages. Started from Java and last 3 4 years I'm Scala fan and so today I would like to shed some light and do some comparison between object-oriented programming and functional programming. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Igor. So, guys, we heard about two guys, Igor and Diego. They are both pretty good developers with good experience. They're working on different kinds of technologies. So, what this talk about? Let's talk about this. What is the ground info about that one? So, the actual thing that we want to discuss is more about the like one of the interesting like turnarounds around one of the big frameworks like overall the React. As you may know, like overall there is plenty of frameworks nowadays, but most of them are using or classical object-oriented programming or functional if we're talking about JavaScript overall. So the React, one of the biggest frameworks, he changed a couple times the direction from functional programming to the object-oriented and back again. And once again, with the React versus 60.8 or 70, we get the hooks. The hooks provide us the more functional way of working. So there's no more classes and no more need for that. More like functional stuff. And once again, the pattern are changing from the classes, functional components with the render method, and overall a lot of different methods like component will receive procs, component did update, and etc. There's more like another way of using use hooks, use stuff, create the functional components. They are stateless or stateful, depends. And overall, like the things changing many different times. And even I and the guys, they changed a couple of times their thoughts about object-oriented programming and functional programming. So like some time ago, I was using overall a lot of the functional programming, but right now, like my some thoughts a bit changed. But like once again, overall, it depends. And today, the Diego and Igor will help us to understand what is like the good, what is the bad. So let's start from the simple thing. Uh, like if you guys have questions, let's ask that one. So if you have any question regarding what we are discussing, please go to the live translation and super fast, hit the comment button. Come on, guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, okay. It seems like there is no question. 46 people are watching us, but they don't have question. Okay, okay, looking good. So then what we can what we can continue is starting from the like as you may know there's a bit different things around the like framework revolution because like on some place there is one framework and over the time it changes, so we need to about talk a bit like how everything starts and how right now the things are going. So we will start from the Yegor. Yegor, thank you so much. Can you please tell us a bit more about the history overall and the ideas that functional or object-oriented programming have?
Yeah, sure. All right. So, frankly speaking, the history of these two paradigms is go go deeper into how people would like to translate the abstractions into machine readable commands. And we have two different concepts. Yeah, so the functional programming is coming from lambda calculus, so it's a fully mathematical way how to interpret different state of comments into calculations. And it's the first idea of lambda calculus was in 1930, in 20th century. And the first functional programming language was Lisp in 1958. And started from there, the functional programming starts their evolution. And but as you see from this slide, the most modern languages like F sharp, Scala, Clojure, they are all is 21st century when the technologies became popular, and everything that you see around you, you should have tools to program it and support. So functional programming became um, uh, again play some role in this world. Talking about object-oriented programming, it started from similar and Smalltalk, and again it's 1970s. And we can say that functional programming is older than object-oriented programming, and object-oriented programming became popular once Smalltalk was introduced. And the main goal of object-oriented programming is to simplify the way how we write programs and support them. And we can, and if we just would like to summarize the history of each programming paradigm, we can put it into into five items. So the main goal of each paradigm is how to represent real world abstraction and how it can be interpreted. Then the other case is how to support what we did, and for this goal we have to have some kind of theory under the hood. And then we came into the modern era where we have different kind of tasks, and the main thing is that in current days we don't have don't have applications that are not concurrent, which don't have a parallelism, and that's why we are trying to get the more proper tools to write such kind of applications. And more, so like some kind of post modernists, we are living in an era where we have a lot of data. It's a big data, it's a streaming tools, it's a internet of things, and this all kind of stuff we also should handle. And that's why we have again this comparison between object-oriented programming and functional programming, because some paradigms uh, works well for different cases, and we have to know both of them to build proper software. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Igor. That was like summarize a bit. So the history starts from the functional programming languages, and nowadays the object oriented is something that as big and work in the big data streaming IoT stuff, and we should like actually think about it like overall the like real world abstraction that should be interpreted and things. Thank you, Igor. Diego, what do you think about like this history, and what do you think about like overall your framework evolution stuff? Please.
Yeah, thank you, Dima. I think if we want to talk about framework evolution, we had to go back to the 1960s, where we have a few problems, not only in the software but the hardware. We only had a single core computer. We could only storage a few bytes, and we really needed efficiency back then. And that was the reason why functional programming was first. And then as the hardware evolved, the languages were adapting. The functional programming was not anymore mutable. We now battle the mutable state, and now we have immutability. We also have object state sharing. We have concurrency, parallelism, and we we actually don't just let the program crash about the overflow of data. We now have memories management. Computers and interpreters can do that already. So I think the frameworks were evolving, adapting themselves to the hardware, and one of the things that really help about this is object-oriented programming, and those things evolve from the lambda calculus. Those are the basis. Um, yeah, I think we really needed to care about performance and efficiency, but now we really care about problem solving and real world problems, um, and abstractions that are seen now in modern context. Let's treat a class like a person, and then you can generate all other behaviors of classes in in the object oriented paradigm. That's it, Dima.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Diego. Yeah, yeah. Like overall, that totally makes sense. Like if we go back to the once again to the back days, like 60s, 70s, there's like too much like resource limitation of the computers. Nowadays it's more so like the object oriented programming can breathe more freely, and the same for the functional programming, because the stack size can be more, the heap size can be even more, so you can place and work with the bigger data at the same time. and concurrency things like async and things like that, that all give the power of like one part or another part, and it all depends. Okay, thank you so much, Diego. So, guys, do you have any questions? Hmm? 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 Yes, no, guys, are you alive? Pablo, I see in the chat. Okay, okay, we'll be not harassing our viewers. Okay, um, then I'll ask a couple questions to you guys. Like the small one, the tiny one. Like, uh, I'll start from you, Diego. Diego, what do you think about like overall, like the functional programming in Python? Uh, does it make sense, or you should go to more like object-oriented stuff, suppose Django or something? Like you as the full stack developer, what do you think?
Okay, I think there are multiple concepts, there are multiple industries, and it depends a lot on what you want to do. If you want to handle like a batch of data, a batch of files, you should definitely use functional programming because it's going to take you a few hours to complete the code. It's going to take you a few hours to implement the script, and it doesn't really um, you don't really have to learn all the syntax or the dot notation issues you may have. But in the other side, if you need a more complex solution, if you have a context where you need uh, a few notation, a few models, like if you have a classroom, you're gonna need a professor, you're gonna need students, and then you want to assign each one of them a different behavior and different methods, different capabilities, different permissions. We now can use polymorphism, we can use encapsulation, and we can use the do not repeat yourself approach. Um, we can also make use of some lambda calculus functions like map, filters, and in overall the security of your application is going to be better if you implement this object-oriented paradigm. But at the same time, I don't recommend it for all cases. There are cases where you have a single core computer maybe and a few memories of RAM, and you need to process a really large file of data and then transform it to another thing, and you will be best using functional programming in this case.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree with you. Like the functional programming have some pro and cons, and this one is one of them. Igor, you like a big, like really big specialist in working with
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the Java
Thank you.
world. Did you work with the big data? Like, what they think about big data in the Java? Like, pretty short. Don't take a lot of time, but like, just like your thoughts from your experience.
Uh, do you mean do you want me to shed some light how we can use Java for the big data
Yeah.
or
Just a bit.
the
Like, yeah,
memorization?
yeah.
Actually, big data it's not about the program language. You can use any language to deal with big data and with that frameworks, but um, if we're talking about the frameworks, then the whole big data world started from map reduce jobs that we can execute and build on um, Hadoop. And these map reduce jobs you are writing totally in Java. And the code that you get as a result is not pretty much concise and the single jobs that you just would like to build from get some data stream as an input and map some data to the output stream. It can your code will be very a lot of lines. That's why in big data world we have frameworks like Spark, and Spark gives you an ability to write code in Java, Scala, and Python. And code in Scala and Python more concise than in Java, and it's easier to use some functional programming concepts to simplify your code base. That's why in programming world we have an opinion that the big data is mostly about Python and Scala, and it's all about the functional, but it's not true. It just, as I mentioned before, it's just a tool set to how to easily work with tasks that you can get in this area.
Okay, okay, makes sense. Um, Guys, let's talk about the usability. Like overall, we know that there's different frameworks, different stuff like the functional programming and object oriented. Like what is the good, what is the bad? Like more about usability stuff. Like what you can use in that, or when you can use in that. Like we'll starting from the once again from the Igor. Yeah, no, we will start from the Diego. Sorry. Diego, what do you think about like usability of the from like functional programming or object oriented? Um, yep.
Yeah, I guess offer the Python approach. Python is a multi-paradigm interpreted language, and it can make use of both or integrated programming and functional programming. And it's already has included memory management, logic encapsulation, immutability. You can about usability. I would like to express the approach you might take. Um, there are simple approaches can take you longer to implement, but but results in a good quality code. And there are things that just trashy, you just put some lines and dependencies, and then you get a result of what you wanted. But at the end of the day, you will really need to have balance between dependencies and your goal, the things that you want to achieve. You don't want to get your code to get too much code, too many nice, unnecessary, and that's why those approaches are there. Keep it simple. Do not repeat yourself. There are things that are gonna help you um, during the maintenance of your application